It's good to hear that sound.
It is nice. Yeah. It really did sound like it just took me down.
Last Monday night, I just played it on a loop.
Just a little loop. Just get on set by yourself. Just talk to yourself. Just share sometimes.
What do you think about that?
Just put the mic over here. Put the headphones on and put it by the microphone.
And we got a lot of Well, happy holidays and welcome to episode 98 of From Behind the Barcast, the podcast for bartending, service industry, drinking in general. I'm Paxton. That is Clint Moses, and we have Sunset Kelly on the ones and twos.
Oh, baby, I love it.
You texted me and said you weren't going to be here at 6 o'clock, and I had this idea. I ran up here and recorded that
nice.
Immediately.
Nice.
Dude, we're so happy to be back. I'm so jazzed to be back, hearing that song, being here with you guys. I hope you all had a very happy holiday.
Yes, this is the last Barcast of the year.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I guess it is. Yeah, right.
Yes, it's still the 26th today because yesterday was Christmas.
Well, time has been a thing.
Happy holidays, guys. I'm glad to reunite with you. It's been 2 weeks.
Likewise, I miss you guys.
And I haven't even talked to you for a week. So congrats. It's what you've always wanted after 80 episodes, to not have to speak to me for a whole week.
My Christmas
That was
wish
your
came
Christmas
true.
Yeah, so cheers.
Cheers. What are we drinking?
We are drinking. Hey.
Hold on.
Knock the cobwebs off that bad boy.
Here we go. All right.
Hey. We are drinking Coquito, courtesy of Giselle Valenzuela, Bree's mother.
That is thick.
It's thick and creamy.
And
it's not bad, though.
It's not bad.
It's different.
It is quite sweet, let me tell you.
So Coquito means little coconut, which is what I call you in my dreams.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Spanish traditional.
I've heard you say that in your sleep before.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you're in the room. Nice. That's what I woke up with, that raging erection. Coquito is a traditional Spanish Christmas drink originating in Puerto Rico.
Nice.
It is a coconut-based alcoholic beverage similar to eggnog. And it's sometimes called Puerto Rican eggnog, but it doesn't actually have any eggs in it. But it's rum, coconut milk, cream of coconut, sweetened condensed milk, vanilla, nutmeg, clove, and cinnamon, and cognac is what V's mother added to it, which he was trying to find in Publix because he doesn't know they sell cognac only at liquor stores.
He was like, what kind of wine is cognac? What region is that from?
I was like, it's like Hennessy. He's like, but don't buy Hennessy for like a cooking thing. But it's not, it's good. It's got some good flavor.
It's good. It sort of tastes like rum chata does. Mm-hmm. Maybe rum chata is like the distilled or not distilled, like the
dumbed down version of this.
Right. Yeah.
But it's not, it's good. It's definitely very sweet.
I don't know if you can hear it over the microphone, but it's giving me diabetes kind of. It does taste.
But like, you also want to keep drinking it though. It's next thing it would be good over like Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Oh yeah! Oh my God! It's like the Cinnamon Toast Crunch milk when you're done with it.
Yeah. But so thank you, Giselle Valenzuela, and that we had Christmas over there. We'll get in some of that.
And thank you, V, also because he is a patron and he's one of our close friends, and we love him.
He's one of our best patrons.
So
you want to get that status?
Patreon.com/FromBehindTheBarcast.
So we're drinking these out of our Huc-a-poos Christmas glasses. If you can hear it through the what up, son? Our Huc-a-poos Christmas glasses from the Huc-a-poos Christmas party, which we'll get into in the second half, but what a jolly good time that was.
And it was one of the most tame Christmas parties.
I've never felt better the next day, mentally. Physically, you'll hear about that in the second half.
But mentally and bodily in terms of hungoverness.
No, which is not a word, but yes, it is now.
Yeah, I just made it up.
Hey, I like that, though. So this is a good holiday. Everybody loves Christmas, right? For the most part.
Yeah, of course.
But how about that Santa, you fat white fuck? So how come it's Jesus' birthday? Santa gets all the jazz, but Jesus is not really white. Jesus was, a Middle Eastern man.
Yeah.
But he's often portrayed as black Jesus or white Jesus. But Santa, on the regular, is just still a fat white fuck. Can we get some black Jesus going on here?
Because if Santa would be anything, he'd be like an Inuit, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right.
Exactly. Neither one of them should be crackers.
And he would bring you seal livers for Christmas.
Blubber. It's also, and happy Hanukkah. I think today the last day of Hanukkah.
I don't know.
I dare you Protestant people to try to spell that on the first try. Hanukkah. But yes, Saint Nick, always a cracker.
It smelled like Karen. It's spelled like Karen with a CH. I don't know.
It is. Is that what Mrs. Claus's first name is? Is she Karen Claus?
Charon Claus.
Charon Claus.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, though. Yeah, I had a good day yesterday. Went over to V's house, had dinner last night. A plethora of food, a smorgasbord, if you will.
Do you know what plethora means?
Yes.
A plethora.
Yes, it was a Costa Rican Christmas, and we had so much food. But I would shout out V's mom for hosting. Lola and Carl came and helped out, brought some table stuff. I smoked 2 beer can chickens and some prime rib. You'll get some of the prime rib downstairs, but that chicken was the shit.
So I hear the beer can is more of to stand it up than it is for the beer to permeate it.
Well, it keeps it moist on the inside.
Sure.
So it permeates through. But I brine my chickens, as I do my ducks as well. But I brine them in half brown sugar, salt, and some bay leaves for about 8 to 10 hours. Let it dry out for about an hour, and then beer can up the ass, seasoning all over the place, and then slow cook it at 225 for like 3 hours. Yeah. And my smoker has a Bluetooth to the phone, and you can put probes in so you can see the temperature anywhere you are, not necessarily at the house. But I broke those probes, so I have to have another Bluetooth thermometer that does not go elsewhere. It just stays in the house. So in order to go to V's house and hang out and still observe the meat, what I did was put a cooler, a box of pellets still in the cardboard box, in front of my Ring doorbell camera, and put the thermometer, the Bluetooth thermometer right there, so I could observe the temperature of the meats from the V's house and keep an eye on it.
You have to be an AI scientist just to smoke a chicken. Well, and I was going to say most people prefer their chicks moist on the inside, so it's good.
Yeah. It was. I mean, this was probably one of the best ones I've made, and I did the ducks. So shout out to my buddy Brian Herford, who helped me do. He was like, "What do I bring to Christmas dinner?" I'm like, "You asked to my house and help me do all the ducks, prep the chicken," and we're getting through like the end of it. He's like, "This is a pain in the ass." I'm like, "I do it alone usually. This is a pain in the ass." And Carl came by and helped me Christmas morning. So I do want to shout out though my duck patrons who also happen to be Patreons.
Oh wow! Oh,
yeah, shout out to Aaron and AJ and Brogan, AJ Baker of Sunday Cafe fame. Loved it. It's all sent me texts about it. Even Brogan did. So shout out to them. Al from Huc-a-poos.
Nice.
Shout out to Al if you figure out how to work a podcast. And Drew and Stephanie also got a duck and loved it. So
we love
you guys.
We love our patrons and our duck patrons, and
yes.
It's nice to it's really nice when you spend all that work, because most people don't know, if you're not in the barbecue world or the smoking world, all those things take time, and you have to kind of be around.
Yeah, well, especially when it took 45 minutes for my smoker to get to 225 degrees yesterday because it was so cold out. Usually it takes 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And I had to tell people New Year's Eve or Christmas Eve, I was like, I'm sorry, I have to move your ducks to Mark because it was so cold that smoker would have been, it'd have been hurting.
Oh,
and so, when then you put all the cold meat inside of it, it drops it again. So it was kind of a pain in the ass. So I had to stay home and monitor the ducks because that's the money,
So Christmas Eve, it almost got ruined because got up Christmas Eve. I put my earbuds in as I typically do to start listening to podcasts or whatever. And the right ear goes out. It's done. It's completely done. So I'm just left ear, and I do all my phone calls, all one of them every week.
I was like, what? What phone calls?
With my earbuds in, and the left earbud does not contain the microphone.
Oh yeah, that's a bitch. So you hang it off your shirt.
So my elbow, I got tendonitis or tennis elbow from holding it up to my actual head. And in the meantime, I roll up to the closest convenience store and I get a cup of coffee, a Cliff Bar, and a protein bar. And
Are you going golfing?
And I check out, and it costs $7.77.
Ooh.
And I've never heard this before. And the checkout lady goes, "Oh my God, $7.77. That's an angel's number. And on Christmas Eve, nonetheless." I was like, "You just ruined my Christmas. I'm out of here."
So it's 777 is an angel's number?
According to this young lady that works at the closest bodega to me. And so this is on a day where I found out wallowing in my sickness all week.
So I'm on a quick research I've done here.
Yeah.
It looks like 7777 is the angel number. It means you're heading down the right path and you should persevere in all your endeavors.
4 sevens?
And buy lottery
4 sevens. It stands for motivation, wisdom, and perseverance. If you're looking for a sign to tackle anything challenging that lies ahead of you, now is the time to do it.
Well, if it was 888, it would have been more accurate because I gained 8 pounds since the last time.
Look, you and me both, brother. You and me
I
both.
Talked. I was on such a good path. I went completely off the rails when I got sick. And it's, holiday time.
After the Christmas party, physical debacle. I haven't been able to work out in like 2 weeks because I'm sore in weird places still. And we'll second half that for you guys. But,
and so this is the coldest Christmas we've had in a while.
Since 1989 when it snowed.
I just can't.
Do you remember that when it?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I was here.
Shout out to Carl. Carl got up at 4:30 in the morning that morning. Took the hose outside and sprayed our entire yard. We had a huge yard when we went to Nile when we were kids. Sprayed the whole yard down with water, so the snow stuck in our. So everybody in the neighborhood's coming out to play in the snow, and we're the only people that actually have legit snow, and they're all like, "Oh."
Well, Huc-a-poos does that sometimes when it gets down to freezing temperatures.
Oh, yes, the luge.
Yeah, they'll take the pressure washer out there, and what should turn into snow just turns into a brick of ice. But it's still fun because it covers the stairs, and we
made an ice luge to
sled down the stairs.
Down on pizza boxes or pizza trays, and you land on a pile of cold frozen pizza boxes. It is
rocks.
It rocks. Yeah, you're going too fast. Like people try to go two at a time, and usually Brett would build like a curve in there, but you just ramp off the side of the thing.
You ain't turning on that. You ain't really.
It was like the water slide here.
Yeah, right.
If you didn't lean right way, you'd go flying off the water slide and die.
We had our own. What do they call it? The park that they shut down for being too dangerous.
Yes,
we already had one.
I mean, our water slide park
Action Park,
and like the little carnival with the rickety wooden roller coaster. You get whiplash. It didn't go fast; it just shook you side to side hard.
Yeah, it was a roller coaster that didn't get any more than like 6 feet off the ground, but more injuries were on that roller coaster than the Batman could ever dream of.
I know, and like screws shooting everywhere. The fun was in not dying.
Wooden screws. They're like, you didn't die, you win.
Hey, that was George Washington's first roller coaster.
So it was cold enough, and I haven't had to do this in a while, where we had to drip our pipes down here.
Oh, yes.
Right? So here's the thing. I edit videos, for like clips for the podcast and stuff.
Oh, podcast, cool.
And, I make little, Karen videos and shit like that. And I start editing it and I rush through it. I'm like, I'm out. I get frustrated. I just do it as quick as I can. When it's time to drip, when it's time to turn on my faucets to drip the pipes, I'll spend 10 to 15 minutes.
Oh, getting it drip just right?
Getting the perfect drip.
Saving yourself 14 cents?
Well, no, it's not about saving money. It's about saving water in general because I just don't want to be wasteful. So I'll go, okay, perfect. And then 5 minutes later, I'm like, I need a glass of water.
Yeah. So I drip my faucets inside, my 2 outside faucets, and the one on the back porch is where I get Dooley's water from. And so I dripped it into his dog bowl, which was confusing the shit out of him because he's like, Dad, this is rocks. But it made I posted it on my Instagram, but it made it like an icicle dick, like 7 inches tall. And like you get it just right.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I need water. And he likes to drink the water from the outside faucet, not from the inside faucets for whatever reason.
Ooh, he's a bougie dog.
Yeah. So I have to turn it back on. Then I'm like,
that's like, do you get, I filter my water when I think about it, but do you ever get water from your bathroom sink?
Yes, when you're extremely hungover and don't want to walk all the way to the kitchen.
Exactly. It's a last resort. You have your sink preference when it comes to where you get your water.
Yeah, because I get it through the fridge filter, but like then you get it and you take a sip, you're like, it's just off a little bit.
I don't know what it is.
Here's the thing: Whitmarsh Island water tastes a little different than Wilmington Island water.
Sure.
Because I grew up, you drink out the hose when we were kids, and Tybee water has a different flavor as well.
Water's a whole nother thing.
It's better than it used to be.
For sure. And I had a lady the other day, she got a water, and then I come back to the table and she was like, can I have like 4 packets of Splenda? I was like, oh, she must have brought something, or it's for her husband's unsweet tea because he ordered that. No, she dumped all the Splendas into her water. And I never got to ask her why, though. I was like,
but no lemon?
She had a lemon, yes.
A lemon.
She didn't ask for a bunch.
So it's like a LaCroix.
I guess so, yeah. She wasn't asking
LaCroix
for 10 lemons so that she could make her own lemonade or whatever. And we don't have, I guess we do have packets of sugar. But she wanted Splenda, and she made a full water Splenda cocktail.
That sounds weird.
But the thing was, she couldn't change her facial expressions because she's had a bit of work done.
Oh, you got a knot of skin in the back of her head like Joan Rivers?
Like Homer Simpson, whenever he pulled all of his skin back so he could look thin for Marge that one time.
God, so what I saw the other day, we're closer to the episode of The Simpsons where Mr. Burns got killed. Remember that whole mystery thing of who shot Mr. Burns?
Yeah.
We're closer to that than that is closer to the moon landing. Speaking of the moon landing, we got a big game coming up on New Year's Eve.
This guy's the king of segues and hiding names, folks.
I'm getting there. It'll segue. It's a one-wheel segue, but it's coming. On New Year's Eve in the College Football Playoff Championships, the University of Georgia is playing Ohio State Buckeyes at 8 p.m. on New Year's Eve because they can't get their shit together and do the games on New Year's Day when they should be when everyone's at home hungover. So you have to choose between your relationship or the football game.
They used to do them on
or your job.
They used to do it on New Year's Day, though, right? Like that was a thing.
The only ones that played on New Year's Day was the Rose Bowl with Georgia and Oklahoma, which is like it's still to this day the most watched playoff game, not championship game, because it was double overtime and it was like 6 million more views than the closest one because those were on New Year's Eve. People were out drinking and working, and and in the 8 o'clock game, like it's in the midst of everything. It's a pain in the ass, but I don't know. I'm watching that damn game. So, fuck you, Ohio. Everyone says it. Everyone hates Ohio. Except people from Ohio.
Just pissed off half of Tabby Island.
I was about to say we got so many Ohio.
But you know why they left?
transplants
You know
now.
why they left Ohio? Because Ohio sucks. And do you know why Ohio sucks? Speaking of space, there's been 80 people that have gone into space in this country. 25 of them have been from Ohio. It's that bad that everybody wants to get. They'd rather leave the planet than be in Ohio.
I'd rather risk my life in a rocket blowing up
than be in Ohio. So
I was like, moon landing. What is this segue here?
Yeah.
Well done,
Brought it back.
Clint.
I'd like my round of applause now.
Well done, Clint.
Yes, thank you. So yes, go Dogs. Going to be great. I'm excited about making beef Wellington for New Year's Eve.
A welly. Are you going to
welly.
do the mushroom duxelle?
I'm going the whole shebang of it.
wow.
Bang, bang. Hey, it's New Year's Eve. Bring it in, the big year of 2023.
We had for Christmas Day here, Allie and I, we had fried pork chops, yellow rice gravy, and squash.
Nice.
It was like the most hood Southern, because I went to the grocery store the day before because they weren't going to be open, and I was like, I'm not getting all the traditional stuff. I'm like, I'm making gravy, I'm making rice, and I'm making fried ass pork chops.
I had no ham or turkey yesterday. The Costa Rican Christmas is pork-based stuff. And
Sure, yeah.
And I did the prime rib
Wait,
and
is
chickens.
it Puerto Rican or Costa Rican?
This is Puerto Rican, but they
Okay.
are from Costa Rica.
Okay, gotcha.
And his mother is standing in the kitchen watching all of us make our plates and get it together. She has the most pleased look on her face, just utter happiness of everyone being together.
That's universal.
And
I love that.
it was so sweet. And I went over there and gave her a hug and was like, you remind me of my mom right now. And just how...
Oh, man.
Oop.
Oh,
Yeah, I tried, man. I tried on Christmas, man.
Lives it on.
It's hard, man. It's hard.
So, speaking of that, and
was a
not,
big thing.
not to harp on it, I thought of your mother this Christmas too because I spent a lot of my adult Christmases over at her house, and I took a moment of silence for myself. I didn't say anything to Allie or anything. She was like, "What's up?" I was like, "Just give me a second." Because, and especially, I'm glad you got to see V's mother soaking in the happiness. Because some people, it's a weird thing that some of us don't feel sometimes. I'm proud when I play drums well, and someone's like, "Yeah, you rock." But that feeling is different for everyone. Has that thing where they're proud of something, and when a mother is proud that she's provided for her children and her children's friends a happy, warm meal that's brought people together. And I know you and them, it wasn't the typical, like, we better start drinking because we got to be around the family and deal with Uncle Rico being an asshole or whatever.
Oh, because of Puerto Rico? I see what you did there.
Ooh, wow. I didn't even connect. I was thinking about Napoleon Dynamite throwing steaks at people's heads.
I forgot about the steak throwing.
And then I didn't watch any Christmas stuff. Allie was like, let's watch Die Hard again. I was like, you know what? Let's do something completely different. She loves Die Hard now. So I went to Goodwill and got a bird puzzle, because she's, bird biologist. We put this goddamn thing all the way together. Of course, one piece missing. And it's the B of Birds of America right in the
it's
center.
Just Birds of America.
So we were like, should we take one out, repack it, and give it back to Goodwill? And it'll be like the rings on a tree. Each new person that has
takes one piece and keeps
No,
it.
I threw the goddamn thing right in the trash.
Oh.
We completed it, which was super satisfying, and it was very wholesome. We had Vincent Guaraldi, she got me that vinyl last year for Christmas, the Charlie Brown Christmas. Oh man, it introduced jazz to a whole generation of people that would not listen to jazz normally, because if you listen to that Vincent Guaraldi Christmas with Charlie Brown soundtrack, it is funky sometimes. And we all know Linus and Lucy.
God bless Schroeder. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The pianist.
The pianist, yes. So in my new job at undisclosed location on cobblestones, clues coming every week. They play Christmas music, and I don't listen to Christmas music very much because my mom played it all the time, reminds me of her stuff. So I don't. But so my first day on the job is right the week after Thanksgiving, and I'm like, this is going to get old fast. And so my favorite Christmas song is by Wham! Last Christmas. I gave you my heart, So that first cut, like the first 8 times I hear it, I'm like, yeah. And then like now I'm like, I don't ever want to hear this because their music, whatever radio is like 25 songs, Christmas songs, repeat. Thankfully, when it gets busy, you just kind of tone it out. But like when you're setting up, I'm like,
And there is a wealth of Christmas music. So when I went to
Mannheim Steamroller.
I went to Poo's on actual Christmas Day just to see if the outside bar was going to be open to see if I needed to work. And I got there, and they were playing some Christmas jams that aren't in the normal vernacular or in the normal zeitgeist. It was Linus and Lucy, but it was like funky jazz, hardcore.
Nice. See, I'm down for that.
I'm cool with that.
I just don't want to hear Mariah Carey's song 555 times.
Thank you for saying that, because do you know she is the Queen of Christmas, and no one else is allowed to be called the Queen of Christmas because she has trademarked
the Queen of Christmas?
The Queen.
What a Karen-ass Grinch move that is.
Such a Karen. She is the Queen of Christmas.
God, that's what a dick move. So, Christmas commercials. There's been
I haven't seen it.
So, I watch football, so they're on constantly.
Sure.
So, the M&M's commercial. He is real. They are real. And Santa passes out.
Yeah.
Same commercial, year after year after year after year. So I went down a little rabbit hole, did my own research of oldest commercials that still air in the same exact manner to this date.
Can I guess one before you say it?
You can.
Polar Bears, Coca-Cola.
That's they changed it. They updated it. It's like digital now. So the Corona Christmas commercial, which they probably spent $80 making because it's just a Christmas tree lighting up with Christmas lights.
Oh, it's at the end of
palm tree?
Yeah, one palm tree at the end of a little peninsula.
Yeah. That is, so 1996 was the first M&M commercial. That's from 1989, I think.
The Corona one?
The Corona one, which is weird because Christmas commercials are like in the top 5. But the oldest commercial that still airs to this day sometimes, 1968. How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll Pop with the owl?
Yeah.
That's the oldest commercial that still airs.
Oh, I thought you were talking about just Christmas.
But yeah, in general.
Okay. Really, that still airs. And it definitely does. One, a two, a three.
Well, on that note, we've got some of those Costa Rican leftovers down there. I'm getting a little...
Ooh, yeah. There's a plantain thing that's in like a banana leaf.
I'm going to massacre the shit out of it. So
we'll do our own research on the break and figure it out.
It's pork and plantains wrapped in a banana leaf, baked in the oven at a temperature that I don't know.
At a temperature that would cook
it, but the spread. Like thing is, there was stuff that had covers on it. So like I went through and ate. I was just eating on small plates. I was doing tapas because I wouldn't overeat that way. But I'm cutting up all the meat, so you got to take a bite here and there. So I keep going small plates. I come back in the kitchen and like we had imbibed a little marijuana out on the outside as you do, and I'm like, well, what's in there? Oh shit, macaroni salad. Let's get a couple bites, and his mom's like, how about the macaroni and cheese with Ritz crackers and smoked elk sausage in it? I'm like,
well, here's a hacks with Pax. When I go to functions like that, I small plate, and what I do is I get 3 items to begin with. So then when you come back, 2 or 3 of the items have been eaten up already, so you don't even have the option of eating them.
Oh, there was nothing.
There was nothing.
Not one thing got demolished except for the chicken. The only thing that didn't get demolished, I stole a chicken titty and put it in a bag for myself for tomorrow for lunch. But other than that, everything there was something left over of every single thing because there was so much food. His mom has this. It's going to be a good meal when V's mom gets out the car with her rice pot. It is legit this big around, It is this deep, and every time V would have like football parties at his house or whatever, I'd walk in and see that pot. I'm like, shit, yes, it's gonna be fire. Yellow, you gotta. I'm gonna have a little bit of it down there, but it's.
But you stole a chicken titty. That reminds me of Dan Aykroyd in Trading Places when he goes to the Christmas party dressed as Santa Claus, and he takes the whole slab of salmon and sticks it into a Santa Claus costume, and then he gets on the subway, pulls it out, and tries to eat it, but his beard's all in it. And we'll leave you with that thought, and see you in the second half.
Yeah.
Hey, and welcome back to From Behind the Barcast. It is the holiday season, and we'd like to give a few thanks to some people. Number one of our patrons, Jim Glass, he always does something very, very special for all the Huc-a-poos staff, so we just want to thank him for that. Very generous. It brightens everyone's day, especially in a season where not everyone's making a whole bunch of money, you know. Also, we'd like to thank Wayne and Shanda from Beer Label Society for posting the podcast we did with Barbara, Tipped Finance, on the Beer Label page. Because also check that episode out by the book. It's very informative, to say the least. And then quickly, Eric and Heather, who own the bar that I work at, Huc-a-poos, they do a charity each year called Santa, and they find a family in need. And this year, they got them a 2006 Toyota Prius and filled it with clothes.
That's so cool.
It's the coolest charity I've ever heard of each year. And they keep the family, private. And they always remove the family from their house. Be like, hey, we're just going to take you out for a lunch or a dinner. And by the time they come back, there's like a new washer and dryer. There's a Prius in the driveway. All the kids have underwear and socks and clothes.
That's so cool.
PlayStation 4, it's like...
We're on 5 now.
Well, I doubt they got them a 5.
They're easier to get now than they have been. And shout out to Donnie Bell. Thank you. I love you. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, another patron too. Yeah, we just want to thank everyone for their generosity.
All the patrons.
All the patrons, man. We really do appreciate you guys, and we've been trying to do a little bit more. So anything that I've been posting, I try and put it on Patreon first, like the videos and things like that, just so, just to try and show any kind of appreciation that we can, because you guys really do mean a lot to us, and it is what makes the show run.
It literally is what makes the show run. There's a nice wig over here. Thank you. And we're going to Patreon through all of January, pretty much. We're going to do a lengthy one this evening.
We are going to Patreon tonight because there's some Christmas party stuff that we can't necessarily get into.
Not really get into. But you know what we can get into, Paxton?
What's that?
Oh, shit. It's the Karen of the week.
Fucking professional over here.
Of the week.
Oh, shit. Okay. This isn't really a Karen or Darren. I'm kind of Darren myself here for a second, and then we'll get into the thick of it all.
Okay.
Shout out to our girl Smoot. We love you. She's having a baby in a few weeks here. She had a baby shower, a diaper party shower. Everyone brings diapers. Clint does not buy diapers ever. I've never bought children's diapers. I think maybe one other time for like a diaper party kind of thing. So I don't know what to do. So I was in Publix just like, Incredible Hulk. I'll buy those. So I was super excited. They're called Good Nights. I was like, they're night diapers. So Smoot the other day was going through her diaper collection, kind of getting everything situated. These were for her. She's having a girl. These diapers are for someone who is 43 to 68 pounds with a dick, age 6 to 8. It's got a little pocket for the boy's junk. It's for people that are wetting the bed that are 6 to 8 years old and a boy. So I bought completely useless diapers because they had the Incredible Hulk on them, and I was excited.
I was going to say, I know that there's a simple mistake where, you buy a certain diaper and they won't grow into them until, I don't know. Because, they probably have different size diapers, every 2 months or something like that.
So, I'm going to go pick those up from her when she's back in town, return them to Publix, and get other diapers.
I was going to say, did you get Depends or something?
I mean, basically, 6 to 8 years old, 43 to 68 pounds, oh my God. So I'm going to take them back to Publix with no receipt and be like, I'm an idiot. And they're going to be like, we feel bad for you. You are an idiot.
I bet if there's something that's returned more than anything, it's like diapers, because they got to understand that. You can't.
Yeah, it's a mistake.
Or even children's clothes, you don't know. You
can't return children, though, unfortunately. Speaking of things I want to return, you put on the wig.
Okay.
I'd like you to wear that wig. You've been wearing a lot lately. It's more for you now than me almost. It complements your hair nicely. And it really helps because Paxton is the Darren of the week.
Oh my God. I feel so.
Congratulations, you dick.
What did
you
I do?
dick.
What have I done?
10 days ago, Clint turned 41 years old. And if y'all recall last year, or this year, when Paxton's birthday, got him a lovely present. Wished him happy birthday everywhere, called, texted, everything. Got him a personalized message from Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Yeah.
And you know what Paxton got me for my birthday? You hear that? That's what it was. Not a fucking thing. And he gets that F-bomb just for being who he is.
Put that F
this
on me.
dick didn't text me, didn't call, not even a generic Facebook post. Nothing. And like, it's you're one of my best friends. What the shit? You didn't have to call. You could have texted and been like, HBD, anything. But come on, we got you Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Grant's mad. Kelly's got to be a little mad. Come on, we went all out for you. And you're over here, nothing in.
So, not saying it was purely for content.
I don't care. I don't care. Give me my wig. I'm leaving. I'm going to go call Vinny and cry.
Purely for content, but I was like, so we've had a standoff before. We had a little tryst one time, and Clint came to work, and I was closing, and he walks into the back while I was counting money, and he was like, I'm going to stand behind him until one of us speaks. And it was basically a staring contest, even though we weren't looking at each other. And he was like, there's no way he can go this long without saying something. And I was like, 48.
I think I smoked 2 cigarettes. and y'all obviously know I'm hyper as shit. So I'm like, I'm bouncing back and forth. And I'm trying to like chill. And I'm like checking my emails.
So I knew it was his birthday. And I was like, I'm going to do that same competition again. I'm going to wait until he texts me so I can be like, ha ha, I love you. Happy birthday. He won the standoff this year. He did not text me and be like, hey, what the fuck, bro? So that was your birthday gift. You won. You won the greatest gift, getting me to
come out of his shell.
No.
Actually, I'm sorry. I love you and happy birthday, but
and I'm like, it's whatever.
I know that you don't like necessarily care, like it doesn't hurt you, and you don't necessarily care. And I knew how surrounded by your friends you were at that point, and I was like, this is gonna be another standoff.
Well,
right
let's keep going here since you want to dare. No, keep the wig on. We're still wigging. Sunday, that following Sunday, came out to Tybee for my birthday. Charlotte was like, you have to do something. I was like, I don't want to do anything. So, we're gonna go out. So we went to the sandbar and had food. And I texted you because I thought you'd be working. It's a Sunday night, and you were not working. And I was like, hey, you live 400 paces from here. Why don't you come up here and say hello? Giving you yet another opportunity to say, and I didn't say, we're up here for my birthday. I said, we're up here all hanging out for something. And yeah, didn't show.
You saying
couldn't ride by the parking lot and honk the horn.
You saying we're all hanging out. I was like, oh, that's my kryptonite right there.
But I even like tried to trick you. I was like, hey, V wants to buy one of your paintings. Shay's interested in the blue one.
And when I heard all of that shit, I was like, oh,
I got you first because I got your interest with that. And you're like, oh yeah, when? And then I overly texted. I got too long of a text and was like, and if you want Paxton to never respond to you, send him a GIF. It's over. I sent him one the other night, and I was a little lit, and was like, "Oh shit! I realized what I did here."
He was like, "Wait a minute! I forgot the old trope. You don't don't answer a lot of anyone, anyways."
but yeah,
definitely not a GIF. And I had been at work that Sunday, and I left.
Yeah, they said you walked in there for like an hour and left.
Yeah, it was pointless. So I was like,
I sent a picture of Charlotte and Caitlin to your girlfriend to try because I knew you were hanging out with her to try to tempt even her, and she, as Paxton does, no response.
We got a hard front line going here.
But I think I got a happy birthday on the Facebook wall from her, so yeah.
I
don't know. I tried to go through them all because before I was going to call you, I was like, let me make sure he didn't get me on it is your birthday, that you could have probably lied and said you did, because the new Facebook update is great. When you scroll down to like that, it's like two posts.
So you didn't get it?
I looked. I got on Facebook on my computer to look because on your phone now on the new update, when you scroll down, it gives you 2 things and hit see more. Load, 2 more. Hit see more again. When you've got 180 posts, and thank all of you, wish me happy birthday. That's great. I love you.
Yeah.
But I'm like, 2 poops. Both my poops that day. That's all I was doing, and I still couldn't get through them all just to like them. I didn't like, well, you know what? I'm going to call this dude out. Screw him. I didn't like one post for one person who doesn't listen, but it's my old boss, the old owners of circa 1875, where I used to work, where I don't work anymore.
Yeah.
And I was friends with them for 15 years. No contact since Clint doesn't work there anymore. No, nothing. No, thank you for your 6 years of service. Nothing. What I did get was, happy birthday, Clint. I hope we can still be friends on my Facebook wall on my birthday. That's the reach out.
I was going to say, and you didn't get let go personally by them, the
No.
owners with whom you were much closer with.
Yes.
And
Nothing. Not a drop of anything. Like, come on. Like, I mean, shit happens. People get let go. They've rehired Catfish's dumbass like 5 times.
yeah.
Come on, man. Just sorry things didn't work out. And I the only resentment I hold is, come on, do be a fucking man and reach out and say something.
Well, see, it's weird because they would defer to you if someone would like leave a bad review or say something. They'd be like,
They would refer to me on all kinds of
well,
stuff.
they would be like, Clint, is this true? And you'd be like, no, this is how it happened. And your word was
gold.
gold with them.
I mean, with the previous chef got mad at me because they would call me and ask me about him, and I would tell them the truth. He was like, you don't talk to them about me. I'm like, I'm not sorry, no. I'm going to do what they tell me to do. And they're sweet people. When my mother died, it's like gigantic bouquet of flowers and stuff. They're 2 older gay men, so it was a very nice bouquet. They came to my mom's like service.
Yeah.
Like I love them. They're and I still love them both.
That's why it seemed like such a weird 180, and we haven't really spoken much about it on the show, but it's the most drastic 180 I've heard because of the rapport that you had with them, how long you had worked there, how they deferred to you for truth-telling to really understand what's actually going on in the restaurant, and the trust that they gave that they had in you to be like, if he's there, everything's
exactly.
It's probably
going to be
okay,
all
right.
And we've got
even
got
if the chef is sucking and there's like a turnover.
If the fryer's on fire, Clint actually knows where the fire extinguishers are. Things like that, and it's just and when I see Donald, it's big hugs. It's a solid, good hug every time I see the man. Even if I saw him the day before for 15 years, it's just very odd.
It's weird. It's like when
I think they're embarrassed.
I feel like it is an embarrassment thing, but there's another thing. There's certain people like when they like join Scientology or something like that, they get brainwashed into like exiting all of their old people out of their life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like people meet guru. Like think about like Kanye. He probably met some like pastor in Chicago somewhere that's like, hey man,
He did. That was the thing.
like hey man, you know who's causing all your problems?
Yeah.
Them.
Yeah. Them.
You know what I mean? So like people are susceptible to. So I don't know who's in their ear, but that's such a 180.
It is. It's the GM. That's who's in their ear.
And when you were
'Cause she-
telling
'cause,
you
you know.
telling me all those things, I mean, literally flabbergasted
Yeah.
that there was no communication at all.
I mean, no. I mean, like when I worked at Lily's, I left. It was a sudden leaving. Like I got the manager fired me, and Mira was like, "I got to stand by my manager." I'm like, understand? We're cool. Still texting 2 days later about football. No hard feelings at all. Still went in there and patronized the place. But now I actually on Friday at my new job, again, Cobblestones is your clue this week. I had a table. And I'm walking away from the table. I hear them going, "Yeah, we're going to reservations at 6:00 at circa 1875." I'm like, "Hey, so when's the last time you went to Circus?" She's like, "Oh, about 5 years ago. It was amazing." And I was like, "Well, let me tell you a little story." And kind of just briefly was like, I was there 6 years. I left because the food was a problem. They're like, "Oh, damn, we don't want to go there now." And the girl ended up she'd been a restaurant manager for like 10 years. So she knew what's up. And she was like, "Well, where should we go?" So I was shout out to Danny Steinfeld at 45 Bistro.
Yeah.
I texted him, got them a table at 45 Bistro at the same time.
Well, it's good you didn't have to over-explain because she was already in the industry. You're like, hey, this is the cliff notes of it.
Yeah.
And there wasn't any talking them into or out of it.
Yeah,
Like,
she
hey,
immediately was like, "Thank you so much."
this is just the truth.
Yeah,
this is
was
what it
the truth.
is.
It is the truth.
And that's a good thing because if you build a rapport and a respect with your customers right away, they know that anything you do tell them, you're not like bullshitting or trying.
And I love to send people to other restaurants and like, "Hey, if you're eating here for lunch, here's a great place for dinner. Where do you think?" And I ask, where you think about going?
Yeah.
It is depending on the table, obviously. But like, "Hey, where are you going later? What are your plans? Oh, check this place out.
Yeah.
I would avoid that place for this reason, or go by here and do this." Just you want to help people a lot that are good people to have a good time.
Yeah, we've talked about it on the show before. Like if you got really cool people and then you accidentally hear that they're like, "Oh, we're going to this place."
It's separating.
I only react strongly in
separated.
two different. It's broke.
I need to.
I react strongly in two different ways. Either it's like, please don't go there, this is why, or you definitely have to go there. There's no,
Yeah.
there's no like middle ground.
Talk about, like, oh, you're cool. Go to Huc-a-poos. You're not cool. Check out Wet Willie's.
Yeah, right, exactly. So my Karen of the week, well, it's Karen of, I guess, last week, whatever, are for the Huc-a-poos Christmas party, which we're about to jump into. We had a kickball tournament during the day at a public park on Tybee Island at about noon, from like noon to like 2 or 3. We had one speaker out there playing some, some
Basically, good size monitor, but
Yeah. It was loud so that we could hear it. A neighbor from 2 blocks away calls to complain. I am running out to my car to grab a sweater because it got very cold that day. So I'm running out to grab it, and I see one of our local police officers rolling by, and I saw him and I knew who he was. So I ran up to him. I was like, "Hey, can you arrest them for cheating?" Just being.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Hey, look, someone just called complaining about the noise. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with them." And I was like, "Oh, really? All right, I'll go turn the bass down or whatever." He's like, "Yeah, just turn the bass down." Like he was obviously like,
I'm doing what I have to do here, but
come on.
And there was
man.
another party involved. We won't bring up until the Patreon.
But come on, man. But
there's another suspect in this
right.
debacle. But I almost made my Darren of the week the wind until you stepped into the thing. Jesus, windy Christ. It was like the high was 47, there was 35-mile-per-hour wind gust, and we played kickball. So we discussed Christmas last year, but we'll kind of give you guys a short and sweet. What happens is we all gather at the Poo in the morning about 10 o'clock. They told Paxton and I to be there 30 minutes before the actual time they told all the people that are going to be late, which is weird because we got there on time. I show up for things on time. Actually, I was early. I went and picked Martin up. I was like, "Hey, I can come pick you up. I'm on the island early."
That's early.
Yeah. So we get there. They usually feed us a copious amount of food. We ended up getting food at the park later. They had a Bloody Mary bar, which most of us were just eating the bacon, cheese, and shrimp instead. Because I was like, I'm hungry.
I was like, I don't want heartburn yet.
Yeah. So Eric ordered shirts for us. But they didn't arrive on time. And so, as Paxton will be showing you here, Eric bought a shitload of white Hanes t-shirts and some markers and was like, make your own shirts.
So he says, name your teams. And I was like, well, I guess we're Team Tatas because I had some ladies on the team who were sporting Tatas.
Yes.
And I am Captain Titty.
Captain Titty. So my shirt got tossed in the trash because Darren Paxton over here got barbecue sauce down the front of his shirt. I don't know if you can see the stain on there. Yeah, you can see right between the titties.
Right before the championship game.
I can see it.
He spilled. So then, as Thumbprint Live does, takes his thumb, sticks it in barbecue sauce, and sticks it right on my fucking titty. I just right on, and I'm like, come on!
He gave me so much shit for it. I was like, oh man, you're right.
Because I had just eaten and not made a mess of my white shirt and was very happy with that.
The same barbecue sandwich I had, I was like, oh man. I was like, let me adjust your. Boom. Got
me. I mean, like full evidence. If you were trying to find the criminal, it was right there.
If you ever need.
So we make our shirts. We were baby pooks. We had shout out to Kyle, who was the MVP of our team, who played barefoot the entire time.
I'm surprised he can walk today.
Yeah. He had a baby with him, so we were team baby poo. And like, I can't write much for shit. Writing with a marker on a white shirt. Oh God! It looked like a 5-year-old.
I made squirrels titties on his T-shirt, and he goes, "Damn, bro, this is like getting a tattoo in the hood. You get what you pay for." Because they were like,
they ran out of shirts, so we went to the Lost and Found and started pulling out white shirts. And Tyler was late to the game, so Tyler just like put his shirt on his head because he was going to be able to fit one of these medium shirts. It was quite the event, though. They put up in a team, so as traditionally as Paxton is a captain, Winky is a captain, I am a captain, and Vinny was a captain. Vinny was not there because it was the same day it was his work Christmas party, and I guess the assistant general manager had to show to that. Whatever, Vinny.
I guess.
So they made our boy
Mitchell Markaloo.
Yes, I could not remember his first name because everyone just calls him Markaloo.
Another captain. Yeah.
Yeah, made him a captain. So we all get our teams, and like he splits it up pretty nice. So you get a couple athletes per team.
Yeah.
I got Kyle and Hunter Mullen. Which Hunter was great.
And I got Martin, my date, which normally you don't.
They usually split the dates up.
Yeah, they normally split the dates up, but I guess since it was Martin there, and lucky he was an asset, but please.
Yes. And so I don't technically work at Huc-a-poos, so I usually get the dregs. There was one year I got JT, Bremer, Al.
That's combined age of 220
yeah.
right there.
And like, Bremer's not going to play in any of the games. Like, he's not participating. And that was the year we played the blind volleyball. We had the tarp over the net, so you'll see the ball till it's coming. So he's like, pick your teams. We pick the best people. And then he's like, all right, the other people are playing the next game. I'm like, oh no. And that's when JT went to go bump the ball and his entire body landed at one time on the ground. It was like, whoop. And like everyone stopped. He was like, oh God. We were like, oh no, not now.
Not now.
But so yeah, we go to the park to play kickball. He doesn't tell us what we're doing until we get to the park. And I'm like, are we going to have to go drive around the island and stuff? So it's...
Because it's normally like a much bigger production.
Yes.
Because
we were staying in town, we didn't have to go, So
yeah.
It is, like I said, windy. It is cold. It was very cool. Now it feels like it's nothing, but it was so windy. So as you play kickball in the wind, Paxton kicks the ball. I played them in the first game. If there had been no wind, this ball was going all the way to the beach. Instead, the ball goes to about second base where I'm at and goes up in the air straight and then side to side 5 different ways. And you're trying to go, I'm trying to go side to side to catch the damn thing. And so when we all get done, like after the first game, I'm like, my inner thighs and groin are
My
tight.
groin
was tight. So like, all day, 3 balls left for the infield. 3. I didn't watch every game, but I saw 3.
Yeah.
And one was when the A-10 warthogs were flying by doing their dips.
Oh man, it was like we had the Blue Angels flying by because it happened like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah. So the second time they're flying by, people in the outfield on Winky's team are watching the planes. The pitcher is not. He pitches. Kyle puts the boot on the ball and it goes flying. However, one of these lucky idiots got hit in the back with the ball and kicked the ball in the infield. It was like, dink. And I was like, God damn it.
Kyle didn't put the boot on the ball. He put the bare foot on the ball.
Yeah. The bare foot on the ball. So we played.
Toes.
Eric has it set up for 5 innings. And I'm like, this is going to take all day. Because all the balls are just going off.
Yeah.
And so we played the first game. You all beat us in the first game 5-4. The next game, the other 2 teams played. And it was like a little bit faster. And he's like, we're going to have the consolation game. I'm like, can we just do 3 innings? Because this is going to take forever. He's like, yeah, we'll do 3 innings. And it's a tie.
Tie at 3 innings.
Tie at 3 innings. My team versus Winky's team. And I'm like, hey, as baseball does, do you want to put a guy on second to kind of expedite this 1-to-1 game? And he's like, nope, not at all. So 3 up, 3 down, both teams. He goes, fill the bases up. In the next inning.
Well, somewhere
in inning 5 now.
Yeah, something we're leaving out is second base. Before, if you got to second base, before you could leave it, you had to chug a little cup of beer.
Yes. So it slowed you down getting around the bases, which is good because it was.
Well, typically our games last from the time we get to Huc-a-poos basically until
like almost dark.
Almost dark. So by the time the last games are done, there was one year they tied a string to a ping pong ball and we put Vaseline on our foreheads. And you're trying to flick the.
Was that because it rained that year? Wasn't that like an impromptu game?
No, it was set up because there's like 3 little games that were. There's one where you had to put the Oreo on your head and get it down to your mouth. Yeah. So literally the last game when everyone was like, I don't know, on psychedelic mushrooms and very drunk and everything else, trying to hold a string in your teeth with a ping pong ball in the end, Vaseline on your forehead, and getting it to stick to your forehead. No one got it once, not a single time. So they did it right this year we played kickball until the kickball was done, and then we had a glorious 3 or 4 hour break to come home.
We were going to prom, and so because I took like a nice nap, I went home and stretched, iced, napped. We were sore for days. Like I haven't worked out since then because like my arm was sore from trying to throw in the wind. Earl Horsheiser couldn't gotten the ball from third to first base without bouncing it.
For real.
And it was just so crazy.
Leading up to that,
Amanda yelled at me. She's like, "Why'd you leave me on third base?" I was like, "Yeah, I should have been over there. Sorry."
You
got on third base. Eventually, you were the third base player because that's where the balls were going.
I was shortstop.
It's like you saw someone using that strategy of using first base coaches and third base coaches, and
then all of a sudden we came out the champs.
Yes, but hey, we won the consolation game.
Well, the thing was, I exercised strenuously every other day, not in preparation for this, but
me too. Yeah, like I'm every other day.
That, and I was like, kickball, whatever, bruh,
dude. I mean, sore.
Things on my body that I didn't know existed, like my spleen was strained. You know what I mean?
So the last that extra inning game. The last kick of the game is a pop out to right field. Mike Henderson hasn't had to do anything the whole game, but I want this over. So I've been playing second base. I ran out there and I literally above him catch the ball, and he was pissed about this.
Really?
The rest of the day. Pissed.
Hey, you got off easy. He didn't want to talk to you the rest
Oh,
of the day.
man, but he would stop me and be like, oh, I'm mad at you. Make a little production as he does.
I said, bitch.
I said, "Bitch."
Yeah, and so he was mad at me until we played Fortnite that Friday on my birthday, and he was like, I don't want to talk to you. I was like, you have to. He's like, well, I was like, because it's my birthday. He's like, God damn it, he got away. But I was sore, and then I tried to do a deep knee bend on Sunday on my birthday after I'd had 12 hours drinking in my body, and you can't lunge when you're drunk and sore, and I have like a grade 1 strain in my right quad now. And I keep forgetting about it. I'll go down to my knee. I'm like, God damn it.
Out of all the Christmas parties past where like you're the most hungover you've ever been, spending the night at the Claremont Hotel in Atlanta,
or the creepy Candyland house.
Yeah, right.
That was a 3-day or 2. But like, except for from the waist up, I was great the next day.
So into the kickball tournament, Team Tatas won. Shout out to Michaela. She was actually standing on third base, made the final play. We come away victorious. And we get to go take our little break and chill because we were going downtown to the Knights of Columbus to have like a legitimate prom. Everyone dresses up, looks nice, goes to the prom. My date was Martine.
So my date was me. So some people ask me, like, who's your date? I'm like, I'm kind of in the gray area because I don't work there. I've never worked there. So it's past employees are invited and current employees, and you get to bring a +1. And I'm just kind of...
Who are you the +1 of at the Hershey house?
Vinny.
Okay.
Vinny. And then now I'm just...
I think you're an automatic in, just like Travis is.
Yeah, me and Travis are like automatically in, even though we haven't.
There's like
there.
a floating 4 or 5 people that don't necessarily need +1s.
And you're just kind of there.
Sunset Kelly couldn't come, so I got Martine to come.
Martin brought his suit to volleyball or to kickball. I picked him up and he was like, he brought the whole suit, and I was like, hey, we're gonna have a 4-hour break.
I thought he was gonna bring his Prince suit because when he dresses up as Prince for Halloween, he looks
like that was my suit, by the way.
Oh, Sunset Prince Kelly over here.
So we get downtown, and it was the most genius thing for Eric and Heather to do to get the games out of the way and then get everyone to have a break. Because typically, by the time we're done with the games, no one wants to do shit.
Yeah, we've been drinking and stuff, and
so we all get downtown.
He only brought beer to the park. He ended up sending somebody to get some liquor, but we only brought beer because it kept us kind of.
I only drank 2 beers at the park because I was like,
I drove home from there and like took a nap.
I drove there and drove back home. I mean, which is like 2.5 blocks away.
I picked you up.
But Clint drove me. Oh my God.
Lazy.
I drove you there and back.
Oh my God, you're right.
Because I threw my shirt in your trash can.
I was thinking about another
time. But everyone's all dressed up. I mean, like they all had to go to court, and I'm not talking Tybee court. I'm talking like state court. I was like, damn, Rick. Like, some of us dress up better than others, but I was like, you guys really showed out. No, one tuxedo T-shirt. Shout out to Lars. He was an elf. He was elf. He was like, I thought it was a costume party.
He showed up. I was like,
full elf.
That's exact. I mean, I'm talking Will Ferrell elf.
Shoes, covers, and all. Wig, everything.
Dingleberry or jingle bells on the tip of the bells. And one of them, and everyone, all right, let me ask you this. The DJ was absolute
garbage.
Garbage.
I mean, just switch tracks. Stop trying to mix. And so then another guy got on there. I was like, oh, he'll be better. Just still more garbage.
And I'm never the guy to go up and be like, hey, will you play this or play that? Because I know how much it annoys me if I'm like playing guitar or drums or whatever. So I never went, but I was like,
I didn't need. I sent somebody else there to do it a couple times. So I was like, "Hey man, play some stuff." Like he would get the crowd going, and then he would switch to whatever he wanted to play. I was like, "No, stick." And someone was like, "Hey, play some Outkast." So he played Elevators, one of the slowest Outkast songs there are. I'm like, he played International Players Anthem before that. Everyone's dancing, having a good time. And he's like, "And Elevators." I'm like, "And everyone leaves the dance floor."
And it's like you got to read the room a little bit. Yeah. I think, but because
wasn't he Grandmaster or something?
He was
DJ Grandmaster.
He's a black dude.
Hey, they're integrated in the clan now. I don't know.
But I was like, read the room. I know we look like a bunch of. No, we don't look like squares. I mean, I guess we're dressed like squares. But it's like if someone asked me to play Outkast. You know what I mean? Like, there's a couple things I'm going to defer to, and it's not Elevators.
That was a request too, I think.
He played radio edit Camouflage.
Oh, that's right. Of F Friends.
No, Cut
Friends. Yeah, he played Cut Friends, not the Fuck Friends version.
Are you kidding me, dude?
Come on.
We used to call that the Walmart version because Walmart wouldn't sell unedited.
Parental, yeah, I think there's a parental advisory sticker on it.
Because my buddy got the first DMX album from Walmart, and it was like, I was like, "Where'd you get this?" He goes, "Walmart."
We also got a noise complaint there at the Knights of Columbus. The cops came in.
Oh,
and we were
yeah,
like, hey,
oh,
I'm
yeah,
like, we're downtown. This is a bar.
Yeah.
Shout out to Knights of Columbus. We had a great time, and it's nice because we go somewhere that's not a Tybee bar and drink. They were in these nice glasses we have here, and they're pouring regular cocktails. So I had like 5 or 6 drinks and was like, oh.
Well, I had 2 out of this cup, and then I was like, all right, now that I've had 2 bullet and waters out of this cup, I'm going to switch to styrofoam. And you and I both, we packaged these up really nice and put them into my backpack so that they wouldn't get
in the backpack,
so that they wouldn't get hurt a little later.
Yeah, and we there was some very dressed. Kyle, though, I'm gonna give Kyle best dressed.
Kyle easily best dressed. I had heard tell about this suit
all
he was going to wear.
White.
All white. And I'm
suit.
not talking about off-white, eggshell. I'm talking about... like marine, what do they call it?
Marine ball. I don't know.
Where they take the white glove and wipe your bunk down.
Yeah.
That's
how
white.
Yeah,
that's how white this suit was.
Ketchup and spicy white.
And then the superlatives, we'll get into a few of those, but
we'll get to some of those on the Patreon. So, as you do when you have a prom and you have they made a yearbook for us.
Yeah.
So you get superlatives and awards. And it's nice because they gave out the awards and then gave us the yearbooks, which had all that in there and had pictures.
Well, I didn't even know there was a vote. So when they said we were doing prom, I didn't know that was for the Christmas party. I thought that was just something. And they were like, are you not going to prom? I was like, well, what is it? And they're like, it's the Christmas party, Paxton. God. And then they're doing votes for all the superlatives. I had no idea. I didn't vote for shit. I didn't know you could vote or whatever.
You probably had to use a phone to do it, so you're out.
That is true.
So there was most flirty was like Miss Amanda, right?
Amanda, yeah.
Best smile, which is someone who wasn't even there, Rachel. And I'm trying to think of some of the other awards.
RBF was
resting bitch face.
Yeah, it was Michaela. I was like, I thought I was a shoe-in for that, even though I didn't know any of the categories.
Well, Paxton won most creative.
Most talented.
Most talented. And it was the only one a speech was requested of.
Yeah, they were like, speech.
I was like, okay.
I was like, okay. And they thought I wasn't going to do it. I was like, you know what? Everyone's the most talented person here. Mic drop. I'm out.
Except for this DJ. Everyone's most talented. This guy.
For real, though, that DJ was...
Every time he was trying to mix 2 hip-hop songs that don't make sense together, or he was trying to mix a hip-hop song with a golden oldie.
With Don't Stop Believin' or something
and it's just switch the tracks, bro.
We don't care. You can't mix number one.
Yeah. No,
we're not here he didn't beat match that perfectly.
In the beginning, when I first got, he was trying to scratch. I was like, Jesus, Lord.
Here, for all you aspiring DJ, like wedding DJs or Christmas party DJs, all you do is fade the track out and go, how's everyone feeling? Say a few things as you fade the other track up. It's real easy, guys.
And it's just done. It's not that complicated to...
God.
But yeah, it was a cold night still, so we were all dressed up nice with our...
And luckily there was a little deck or,
Yeah, there's a little porch outside.
So that we could go smoke and everything, whatever. And other than that, the bartender was, super friendly.
And an old guy that came in to help him just had a cigar in his mouth the whole time.
The whole time. He never lit it. It looked like it had been lit once.
Yeah, I think he lit it once just for
just so it would have the end on
it.
And I'm talking about he would be carrying racks of glasses or whatever, no matter what. Cigar in mouth.
White apron. I was like, I like this guy.
I was like, respect. And someone told me that in the photo booth, something might have went down in there that I wasn't an actual witness to, but...
The photo booth, the telephone booth?
The telephone booth. Maybe some coitus in there. I'm not sure.
It was in the most trafficked area of the building, though. It was by all the ways you would walk.
I know.
Who were the guys?
Who were the lucky guys? All right, well,
here's the thing. They couldn't have been that big because there wasn't a lot of space in there.
I'll tell you on the Patreon, but the 2 people are the last 2 people, if you know any of us, they are the last 2 people you
I have a guess.
You would have a guess.
There's some definitely Patreon content for a lot of this.
Ever suspect. Well, yeah. Well,
yeah. So we're gonna go with that, huh? That was it felt kind of flat all of a sudden, but
yeah.
I feel like I had something more here. Hey Kelly, how's it going over there? Yeah. There's just too many notes, man. We've been gone too long.
Yeah. Well,
we've been gone just too long. But yeah, we had a great time. I was home by 1 a.m. In bed by 2.
I was in bed at my own bed in my house. Oh, shout out to Steven for
He came and got y'all, didn't you?
Yeah,
because you
busting
missed
us
your
all
first ride
back,
because
man.
your ride was lit.
Guess what I did on the ride back in that bus? DJ'd.
Yeah,
And it was amazing. Thank you very much.
yeah. Paxton, DJ Paxton.
Yeah, and I was literally in bed by like 2:30 that night. It was crazy. But we hope you guys have all had a beautiful holiday, and we'll have a happy new year. We're going to talk about on episode 99, which is next week, what we're going to
do for the one for
possibly
the 100.
do for 100. If you have any ideas, please let us know.
Yeah.
If you don't already, please subscribe to the YouTube channel From Behind the Barcast. If you want to support us, we're on Patreon, patreon.com/FromBehindTheBarcast. If you don't already, follow our Instagram. Thank you guys so much. We love you
guys.
We hope you had a happy holiday. We're super happy to be back. This makes me very happy.
Yes. And have a happy new year, and we'll see you next year or on the Patreon. And we're going to discuss some spicier things that happened at the Christmas party.
It's going to get spicy like Inferno hot sauce at Tybee Island, Georgia.